I am Jeanette Paradiso, and I'm here in the Addison Historical Museum, and I would like to share something from the museum's collection. As you probably know, when you visit the museum, you see a number of three-dimensional objects, but in addition to those, we also have a number of photographs and documents and things like newspaper clippings. And since it is December, I thought I would read an article about Christmas and the memoirs of a gentleman who used to live in Addison. His name was Elmer Craggy. He was born in the year 1899 and he lived until 1988. This newspaper clipping was from the Addison Press. The date of the issue was January 2nd, 1987. So this was just after the Christmas of 1986. And so in this article that I will be reading, you will be hearing some of Mr. Craggy's memoirs about Christmases past. Elmer Craggy of Addison is one of those who remembers the simplicity of those early Christmases and recalls them with the same clarity as he does the just past Christmas of 1986. He spent his first holiday season in Addison 87 years ago. Craggy was born in Addison. One of 4 children, he lived on a farm that stood where the Odeum stands now. Celebrations were different back then, he said. When we had parades, there were lighted torches. It was like the open-air festivities that they have today. No one was in a hurry. Today it seems like everyone is in such a hurry. Some aspects of the holiday celebration were the same as they are now. We went to church just like they do now, he said, but they gave everyone a bag of oranges, apples, nuts, and candy. For us, that was a real treat. Other things were different. The hassle of transportation prevented many friends and relatives from visiting. It seems to me like it was colder back then, said Craggy. We used to have a deep snow every Christmas. We had sleighs that were pulled by horses. If you wanted snow removed from the road, you had to shovel it yourself. Those relatives that did brave the elements had to be picked up by sleigh at the closest train depot, which was in Elmhurst, and driven to their destination. In the early 1900s, there were only 2 stores in Addison. Christmas presents were either handmade or bought at the Montgomery Wards in Chicago. At the time, it was the largest building in Chicago, Craggy said. One year, my parents bought me a saddle. It was the nicest present I ever got. We had 2 mules. My father had a saddle. These 2 mules could run like a deer. My cousin and I put the saddle on one of them and rode along the slough. The Craggys also spent many holiday hours ice skating on Salt Creek. Usually Christmas was celebrated in 2 days, the 25th and the 26th of December. On the 26th, people visited each other. No one went to work. When he thought about it, Craggy was amazed that more Christmas trees didn't catch on fire. We always had Christmas trees with burning candles on them. I never heard of one starting on fire. You had to be careful, though. The Christmas tree at church was a tall tree, about 20 feet in height. It was decorated with less sophisticated ornaments than they have today. Most were handmade. Most of the gifts children received back then were practical: clothing, wagons, sleds. Christmas was a time of anticipation for the kids. We would try to make up our minds about what we wanted for Christmas, and some of us got pretty hoggish. Usually only the farmers who raised turkeys had turkey for Christmas dinner. The rest had duck or goose. Craggy said, no one went hungry on Christmas. Effective December 1st, the museum will be closed on Saturdays, and that will go all the way through the month of February 2015. If you would like to visit the museum, you will need to please call us and make an appointment to come in for a visit. The number for the museum is 630-628-1433.